Chosen one. This is SpyFan 101, and I'm here to talk about or analyze. I'm here to do a trailer analysis on my favorite trailer of the year, and that is the trailer for Spider-Man: Homecoming. Now, I'm gonna get through this quick because, this is gonna be a very in-depth video. So if you like long videos, then you can stick around while I talk about this. So, without further ado, let's get started. So, right off the bat, you can see that it takes place in Queens. That's where Peter lives. But this keeps going to black. This device right here, I'm not quite sure what it is, but if I were to guess, I would say that it is technology based on the Chitauri aliens from the Avengers, and that's why that's why it looks so alien-like, because it's been established in the MCU that a lot of enemies of a lot of people that are not very good people have access to Chitauri technology, and I think that this could very well be Chitauri technology. So yeah, let's keep going. I thought the first time I saw this trailer, I thought that it was very clever to have the robbers wearing Avengers masks. It was just funny to me. It's funny to me, just saying. Then you have Spider-Man in the back. But I have to take the time to say that Tom Holland, you do such a great job as Spider-Man, and I am 100% sold on your portrayal, because you did both Peter Parker and Spider-Man so well in Captain America: Civil War. And I just like to thank, because when I came out of that theater, I was literally crying because of how good you were. So, yeah, that's something I didn't mention in my Captain America: Civil War review, but, I'm mentioning it here. So, yeah, let's keep going.
What's up, guys? Wait a minute. You guys aren't the real Avengers.
And I like how Spider-Man's eyes are still expressive, because when I saw his eyes in Captain America: Civil War, I was surprised about how expressive they were, because not a lot of people know that in the comics, like, Spider-Man's eyes are always expressive, just like Deadpool. But in the MCU version, Spider-Man's eyes are kind of like lenses, like they go in and out, but at the same time, they're still expressive like in the comics. So huge props to Marvel for how they did that.
Avengers, I can tell Hulk gives it away. That was awesome.
Nothing to say. That was awesome. One thing I would also like to mention. One thing I also like to mention is that I love the fact that this is like an actual high school movie, because throughout the other Spider-Man movies, like, there were certain elements of high school, but they were never really explored that much. But in this trailer for Spider-Man: Homecoming, you could really see that the feel and tone of this movie is going to be like a high school movie, and I love that.
No, you've seen that before.
Now, there's like a theory that I have that this could be Gwen Stacy, because if you look at this girl right here, she has like the Gwen Stacy headband. She has the uniform and everything. She has the hair, and this is Liz Allen. But yeah, this could very well be Gwen Stacy. There are like tons of theories about it, and people are asking, is this Gwen Stacy? But I think that it really is Gwen Stacy, because down the road, if they ever do Spider-Gwen, which I would be so ready for, you would need a young actress for that. So if this is Gwen, then I like that. I like the casting choice. And also, speaking of Liz Allen, a lot of people are familiar with her because she was in the Spectacular Spider-Man series, and I love the fact that they're going for Spectacular Spider-Man almost. So I like that. Yeah, let's keep going.
Never with that skirt.
Now I think that this is Gank. This is obviously Gank because he looks exactly like he did in the comics. And I never thought that Marvel would be able to cast someone that looked exactly like their comic counterpart, but that's what they did, so props to you, Marvel.
Should probably stop staring before it gets creepy, though.
Too late. You guys are losers.
To the people that didn't know that she was not Mary Jane, this is clear-cut evidence. So, yeah. Stop the controversy now.
So, to become an Avenger, are there, like,
Now, I like the fact that Tony Stark is in this movie because it pretty much shows that he's going to be like a mentor to Peter now. Because he was like, for anybody that hasn't seen Civil War, which if you haven't, like, what are you doing? But if you haven't, you should know that that Tony Stark was the one that found Peter Parker in Civil War, and he gave him the suit and everything. So it will be obvious that he is going to be the new mentor. So I really like how Marvel is doing that. Yeah.
trials or an interview?
Just don't do anything I would do. And definitely don't do anything I wouldn't do. There's a little gray area in there, and that's where you operate.
That's basically him saying, like, that's basically him saying to Peter, like, you gotta be like, you can't be put on the radar. Like, don't do anything too big because, then they'll discover you and then they'll make me come after you and you have to sign the Sokovia Accords. So, like, stay below, like, stay off the radar. And that's what I like because one thing I didn't like about the Civil War comic is that Peter was, like, after all that time that Peter tried to keep his identity a secret, he kind of did it. So he signed the Accords so easily in the comics that he just came out and, took off his mask in front of everybody. And I'm like, that's not what Peter Parker would do. But, that's what I like about the Civil War movie because we know that Peter Parker did not sign the Sokovia Accords in Civil War because, he's too young to do that. So, it's good that he's being kept off the radar. I like that.
Oh.
All right? That's not a hug. I'm just grabbing the door for you.
All right, kid. Good luck out there.
Good humor. Now, if you pay attention to right here, to this side right here, you can see that this is Howard Stark, but not the Captain America Howard Stark, like the Howard Stark that we saw from Iron Man 2. And I feel like that's pretty cool. Since he was so revolutionary in his time. So yeah. And if you pay attention to the person right here, that is, in my opinion, I think that's Flash Thompson. It might not be Flash, but I think that's Flash Thompson.
Listen, I know school sock.
That's a clip of Spider-Man taking down Giant Man from Civil War.
Peter, you still with us?
Now, if you pay attention right here, you can see that there's a picture of Bruce Banner right here. And right here, because, he is a scientist, and he's in the lineup of great scientists. So, yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
I know you want to save the world, but...
Now, I have a theory of what caused that explosion. It could have either been the Shocker or the Vulture, but, I don't think that... But when I think about it now, I don't really think that two major villains like that could have, like, blown up a corner store. And if they were to blow up a corner store, then why would they? But, I think if I were to choose between Vulture or the Shocker, it would probably be just the Shocker because, he's kind of like a street-level villain. So, yeah.
You're not ready yet.
Death Star. Lego Death Star.
You're the Spider-Man.
No, I'm not.
Now I like how his suit. I like how his suit can you know, just come off of him when he touches the spider. I like that because in the other movies, I thought to myself like, wait a minute, like how is he? Like it must be a hard process of him taking the suit off because he has to take off the boots and take off the gloves and then take off the shirt. But here it's like it's easy for him. All he has to do is touch the spider and it just like falls right off of him. So I like that. And I like the fact that Gank knows that Peter is Spider-Man. I like that.
I'm not. This is just a costume. This is
From the ceiling. Stay close.
Now, I think the reason why Spider-Man could be at Washington is because of the fact that the Vulture could be there, and that could be like the final battle of the movie, where it could take place in Washington, D.C. But, you know, I may be right, I may be wrong, who knows?
Close to the ground. And stay out of trouble.
Now, I like the way the Vulture looks because he looks menacing. Because if you look at how the Vulture used to look like in the comics, he looked kind of silly. But now that, you know, he's like in the but now like Spider-Man, now that Spider-Man and his villains are in the MCU, you know, like they're all gonna get that MCU touch. And I feel like the MCU touch that was put onto the Vulture was very good. And it makes me take him seriously now. It's like, when you look at the old Vulture, like, you can't really take him that serious.
Forget the flying monster guy.
Now, there are theories around the internet that this could be the scene in the movie where, that chamber with the Avengers A on it could be holding the Iron Spider suit. And I think that's pretty good. I think that's a pretty good theory because, you know, what else could be in there? That's not a suit. Nothing, because it wouldn't be that big. So, yeah, I think that's a pretty interesting theory. And a particularly good one.
There are people who handle this sort of thing.
I'm sick of him treating me like a kid all the time.
But you are a kid.
This is my chance to prove myself.
Classic Webling. Classic Webring. Web rings. What am I talking about? Classic web wings. There you go. That's like from the very old comics. Like, I actually read some of the old comics and I saw that they included the web wings. And to see the web wings here, I think it really, because the suit is great enough. Because the suit is great already. But to add the web wings to it makes it very classic.
Peter, what is going on with you?
Now, this character right here, I think that's a shocker. I'm just going to say it right now. I think that's a shocker. And this guy right here, I think that he could be the Prowler. The reason why is because, you know, he sells weapons and everything. Because it looks like he's selling this to who could possibly be Herman Schultz. Possibly because, you see, he has a gun that is, you know, letting out electric rays and stuff. And, yeah, I think that could be the Prowler, because he's selling weapons. I think that's Herman Schultz, because it looks like he has a classic suit right there.
I'm really sorry. I'm so busy. I'm slammed.
Another scene with expressive, eyes. I love it.
I'm slammed.
Don't mess with it.
This shot. Like, I'm so glad that Vulture got the MCU touch, because, you know, I could finally take him seriously now. And, by the way, like, either the scenes over at the Washington Monument could be the final battle, where the final battle takes place, or this scene in a carnival could take place as the final battle, but we don't really know until we see the movie.
I will kill you and everybody you love.
That was Aunt May right there. That is a very cool shot. Now, this reminds me of Spider-Man 2, mostly because of the fact that he's holding two pieces of a boat together, and it really shows his strength, because in Spider-Man 2, he was like trying to stop a train. He was trying to stop a train that was going at, like, you know, it was going really fast. He was trying to stop the train, and I really liked that because Kevin Feige said that you know, he would incorporate most of the scenes or get inspiration from most of the scenes from Spider-Man 2 and insert them into this movie, which I really like. And this scene also shows how strong Spider-Man is, although we clearly saw that in Captain America Civil War when he was dealing with the Avengers. Hold on. Ah, dang it. Alright, I'll just do it. I'll just keep it. This is a very cool shot, and it shows like a dream that we've all had. Like, we've always said, like, could you imagine Spider-Man swinging around with Iron Man? And then this is like a dream coming true. So I really love this scene. So that was the Spider-Man Homecoming trailer. Let me know what you thought of the trailer in the comment section below. And I am SpyFan101 saying peace.